So today's video, this video is fundamentals of sketching. I'm going to walk through the isometric sketches. We're going to do 7 isometric sketches for the first part of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is to create each isometric sketch again and then split it into a multi-view orthographic sketch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our Google Classroom, and you're going to choose the isograph PDF, and then you're going to open that in Kami, and that will create this document. I'm going to split my screen so I can see what I'm drawing. First thing we're going to draw is a isometric cube. And so with the I zoomed in so I can see the isometric cube. I'm going to grab the line tool, and I'm going to start on a point. I'm going to pick a point, and I'm going to go and follow the line. I'm going to go 2 by 2. So I'm going to go up 2 lines, and then I'm going to go again up 2 lines. From here, I'm going to go straight up 2, and again 2. Okay, now I have those 3 lines, and then I'm going to connect those lines. Then across from here, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to connect the lines again here. And so what I've just created is an isometric cube. So the fundamental pieces that we need to know is that this is the front of the cube, this would be the top of the cube, and then this is the side. So that's going to come in handy when we do our isometric shapes, where basically this shape is showing the height, the width, and the depth of the object. Okay. So every one of our isometric cubes has front, top, and side, height, width, and depth. Okay. So then we're going to go and we're going to create the next shape. Next shape. Scroll over a little bit. Give me some room. Okay. So our next shape is kind of looks like I see. So I like to draw. I'm going to show. Oh, no. I like to draw what's easy for me to see, and sometimes it's easier, instead of starting at the V and going up, sometimes it's easier to start at the front view. So a lot of times I'll go with the front view or the top view, and I'll draw from there. So this next shape, I'm going to draw it from the front view. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I still have my V, it's still a 30-degree angle. I'm going to go over 1 and up 3. And then I'm going to go up 2. And so basically what I'm drawing is what I see. If I were looking at this shape, if it were a blocks, I would draw this. Check that out. Let me try that again. There we go. So this is the front of my block. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the depth lines. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go back and add my depth lines here, which is then going to create my V's. Okay, so then I'm creating my depth lines, and now all I have to do is attach those lines. Now I have my shape. So then I have my front. This is the front of that. This is the top. And then the side is here. This is the side view. Okay, so that's going to come in handy when we talk tomorrow about, or at the end of the video when we go into the orthographic section. The third shape we're going to draw looks like a horseshoe. I'm going to slide over a little bit more. We're going to draw the same shape. We're going to draw it in two different ways. The first way we're going to draw is going to, and again, I'm going to draw from the front view. 2, 3 over. There we go. And then I'm going to add my depth. And then again, we have our front, our top, and our side. Okay. The fourth shape we're going to draw looks like it has two pieces. So I'm going to draw this one a little bit differently. I'm going to draw it from the top down. So I'm going to draw this part from the top. So I have my the top of the shape, and then I'm going to add legs. So then I'm going to add legs to go down, so add my height. So that's another way to draw an isometric shape. It really does just depend on what you see when you're looking at it. Now I'm going to go from here and I'm going to add the back of that shape. And then I'm going to go straight down. Okay, so that is the fourth shape. So that's shape number 4. Okay. And our fifth shape, again, is this one, only it's facing a different direction. So I'm going to go ahead and move the box so you can see. Okay, so we're going to face it a different way. So shape number 5, we're going to go, and I'm still going to draw it from the view that looks like a horseshoe, just because it's easier to see that way. So you can see how the same shape put in two different perspectives. So this is the same shape as this. The only difference is I'm going the angle, okay? So I'm going to, so when I looked at this shape, I see in the front, I see 3 separate sections. Or if I look at this one and see the front, I'm only going to see 1. All right, and then there is the same shape, just in a different perspective. Okay, so now shape number 6. Shape number 6 is a little complicated. So when I look at the shape, I see the T first. So I'm going to draw that, what I see. So I'm going to come here and draw what looks like a T. All right, so I see that shape, so I'm going to go ahead and finish that shape off. Now, some teachers might say, no, you need to use just the V's when you're drawing. But I personally, as long as you're getting the job done and it's still an isometric sketch, how you do it is fine with me. I personally believe there's more than one way to get the job done. As long as the job gets done, it doesn't matter how you get there. That's just me. Okay. So there you go. There's the 6th shape. And we have one more. So the seventh shape looks like a number 1 to me. So that is what I'm going to do. Find some more room on my paper. So I'm going to draw the front view again. That's what I see when I look at it. This is a 30-degree angle. You can see the 33-degree angle there. That is indicative of an isometric. So when you start drawing these isometric shapes without isometric paper, you have to make sure you have that angle right. Otherwise, it's going to look really weird. Okay, so there's my shape, my front of my shape. It looks like a number 1 to me. And then I'm going to add my depth lines to it. So every time I have a point, that's where I'm going to have a line. And there we go. There is my 7th shape. Okay. So when you're done with this one, what you would do, you can do 2 different things. You can take a picture of it and take a screenshot of this and add it to the document, or you can save it, share it, save it, and then upload this shared file. Okay, so that is that one. So now we're going to go to the multi-view. So there's 2 different options for the multi-view. You can open up in Google Classroom, copy of multi-view, and open it in Kami, and this is what you will see. So you'll be able to use your isometric and then your front, top, and side. Okay, so you can do that. And then I also added graph paper, so you can do the same thing on those. The other option is right on this document. You're going to draw right on the document. So I added the isograph paper here for us to practice with. So what I'm going to do, it's not quite as pretty as it would be on Kami, but it does get the job done simply because I can't zoom in very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an isometric sketch here. I'm going to attempt to zoom in a little bit. It doesn't do anything for me. Okay, so try that again. There we go. All right, so let's try this again. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and I'm going to go to the isometric section. This is my shape. We just did this. If you're doing it all at the same time, I'm going to use the arrow key, the line, and I'm going to do my very best to create this isometrically, just like we did. So it's a little bit different in the Google drawing, simply because I can't zoom in as well as I could with Kami. But it does get the job done. And you don't have to go back and forth and try to make a picture. Okay, so I'm drawing that. Doesn't have to be cute. I'm okay with it being a little rough, okay, because mine is. So there is my isometric. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my front view, this is my front view, and I'm going to put it into the front section. So I'm going to go over to my front view. So this is the top, front is here. Okay. So now it doesn't really matter if you do 1 block for 1 block, or you could do 2 for 2. So you can make these a little bit bigger. Doesn't have to be anything particular, just to kind of make it even though. So I have So it's 2 blocks basically over and 2 blocks up, or 3 blocks up. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 blocks for every block, make it a little bit bigger, maybe a little easier. For this particular one, I could use a rectangle tool. So if I wanted to, I'm going to go, okay, so there's 1, there's 2, so I'm going to make it, okay, 2, and then I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to go straight up. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks instead of 2. There you go. So then there is my front view of that shape. I do want to make guidelines? So a guideline I'm going to use is going to kind of help you determine where to put the next shape. So I'm going to make some guidelines here. And so the important thing with the orthographic is that my shape has to be within the same boundary as the one that I drew. So I have to make sure that they line up. As if they don't line up, then it's not a true orthographic shape. Okay, so that's important. I'm going to try to extend that a little bit. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the top view, and the top view is going to show me I have 2 blocks here and 1 block here. So again, I can use rectangles on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use a rectangle. So first I'm going to have this a rectangle here. So I'm going to have a 2 by 2 that equals 1. And then 2 go out. Okay, so that is the bottom of that shape, and now we need this top section here. So then we're going to just add a rectangle to the top. Now, typically you have the hidden lines. We talked about the hidden lines previously, and it is okay to have the lines the way they are, simply because this shows that there is a level difference, an elevation difference between this block and this block. That's why the lines are okay there. Same here, it shows that there's an elevation difference between this block and this block. If it were all one, then we would know that it's the same level. So now when we go to our side view has 3 all one level and then 1 here. So again, we can use the rectangle tool on this one. Rectangle tool doesn't always work for this assignment, but for this particular shape it does. So I need 1 block here. Okay, and then I'm going to make another block that is going to start here, and it's going to go up 3. It's going to go basically all the way up to the line that we created, the guideline. That's why we made it that way, so you knew where to stop without having to go all the way across. Okay, so then that is my side view. And go ahead and zoom out so you can see. Okay, so there is our orthographic sketch. So you have your isometric view, and then we've split the isometric view into front, top, and side. Okay, so then you save and close, and then that'll show me that you did it, and then we're going to go ahead and move down to the next one. Okay, so then again, double click, open that up, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. All right, so I'm going to first make this shape. So this is my front. Front has 3 levels. So it's going to, we're going to make it in isometric first. So let's do that. So I'm going to draw the top just because it has the least amount of lines. And for some of you, this is all review. We've done these shapes before. If you took my classes last year, you will have done these already. So it should be coming back to you. If you are new to this, don't get stressed out about it. It's okay. You'll get better at it as you go. This is something that if you take Project Lead the Way classes in high school, that you'll be expected to do. Okay, so there's my front view. So this is front, this is top, this is side. So this shows you here that you have two different levels. So we're going to have lines here. And this one, it looks like one different level, but there's a hidden section. So we're going to have a hidden line on this one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go down to the front view. And again, I'm going to make it bigger than 1 by 1 just to make it easier to see. I'm going to go ahead and draw this one. So I'm going to go here, 2, 3 blocks. And I have 3 different levels, so I'm going to go ahead and draw a line down. And that's just going to show you basically that on my front view, I have an elevation difference so that I have 3 lines. So then I'm going to go ahead and draw my guidelines. Okay. And same thing here. Guidelines are just to help you stay in the right zone. Again, your front, top, and side have to be in the correct order. Like if I drew the top view way over here, it would not be an orthographic sketch. It would be something completely different, which is not what we're going for here, okay? So then I'm going to draw my shape. And I'm going to use my guidelines as a guide basically to get the right size. And there's my top view. I don't have any elevations. I have no hidden lines, so that's going to be your top view. Now we're going to go ahead and do our side view. We do have a hidden line here, so I'm going to use my guidelines. And basically it's just 2 large squares. And then I'm going to have my hidden line here. So instead of a solid line, I want that to be a dash. Prove that that's a hidden line. Okay. Oop. Let me zoom out real quick. Show you our final picture. Okay. So here is our orthographic sketch of this shape. Okay, so that's what yours should be similar to. You see we've kind of made them larger so they're easier to see, but this is our front, top, and side. Okay. Next shape, we have 2 more. So again, we're going to go ahead and double click. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. And we're going to draw our isometric shape first. And I'm just going to go at my speed. If you need to slow down, you can pause the video anytime. And again, it doesn't have to look pretty. I'm clearly not on the lines like I should be. Also, you're welcome to print this paper out and do it on paper and pencil and just take a picture of it, you can do that as well. All right, there's my isometric. This is my front, this is my top, and this is going to be my side. So my front view is going to look like 1, 2, 3 blocks and then one up. There's going to be an elevation change here, so that's going to be a solid line. But there's no elevation change here, so that needs to be one straight. No block extras there. So how I'm going to do that? In my front view, okay, I'm going to have my extras here. So this is the 3 blocks. This is all one elevation, and then this is the extra elevation. So I'm going to have a solid line there. And I'm going to go ahead and put my guidelines in. Now, if I wanted to, I could put a guideline here as well, just to show that there's a different level there. You don't have to, but you can. And then again, if I wanted to, I could put another one here just to show the elevation. Now, later on, if we were to dimension these, you would put your dimension lines in here. That's how I would do it. All right, so now my top view. Let's see what it'll look like. It's going to have a T here, and it's going to have an extra square. Okay, so I'm going to use my top view. So I'm going to have, so from here is where I'm going to have my square here. Okay, brain fart on this one. Yep, different elevation, so it's okay to look like a square. The other one is all the same. So it's going to come from here and go up 2. And I'm going to go over, down, and there is my top view. So if I'm looking at that shape from the top, if I flipped it, this is what I would see. Okay, and if you can see that this shows that there's something different going on there, okay, I could also have a hidden line or a guideline going here as well if I wanted to. Okay. Next one is we're going to do the side view. Side view, I have 3 showing here and then an elevation. So these are going to be all solid lines. So I have 3. Let's start here. 1, 2, 3. And this will show you that that's where my elevation is going to change. I'm going to go ahead and have, oh, I went over too far. I'll fix that. And then I'm going to go up and over because that's that one block. There. All right, so it's a little wonky, but you get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom out. And there is the third shape. Okay, you see how they line up with each other. Okay, they're similar in size. So that is your front, top, and side. And one more here. Okay, same thing. All right, I'm going to first do my isometric. If it's easier to make the isometric bigger and you have room for it, go ahead. Doesn't really matter if it's size for size. Okay, it's just practicing the drawing and seeing it. Believe it or not everyone can see these shapes as easily as others. So if you're struggling with seeing the shape come alive, then that's okay. That happens. Don't worry about it. Okay, so there's my isometric. So this is going to be my front view. So it's going to look like a number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do the front view. Your front view should usually almost always be the view that has the least hidden lines. So it should be the one that you don't have to draw any extras with. So some of the shapes we drew already that were like that should have probably been switched around. All right, there you go. So there's their front view. And I'm going to go ahead and put my guidelines in. And I'm going to go ahead and put one here as well, just so I know. So the guidelines, as you can tell, are just they're just there to guide you to make the shape a little easier to draw. Okay, so now my top view looks like 1. It's going to be 2, and then here, then I'm going to have a hidden line because I have a hidden section right here. I can't see it from the top, but it is there, so I have to make it known. So our line is going to go all the way over. So if I were to flip that shape and look at it from the top, I would see this because there's an elevation change. See how I use that line there to help me remember where that is. Now I could have a line here also to help me know, well, that's where the hidden line section is. So then here, this part is going to be a hidden line, which is the dashes. Okay, there's your top view. And then my side view is going to be this height. And then I'm going to have a couple of different lines here. So if you're looking, this shows that there's an elevation change. And then this shows that there's a hidden line back there. So there's going to be 3 lines. This one's going to be a real solid. And then see how that's flat? Well, that's where you're going to have a hidden line. If you can see the dip, then it's a solid line. If you can't, then it's a dotted line. That's one way to think about it. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to go all the way up my guideline. And then my elevation change is going to be here. And my other one, my hidden line, is going to be equivalent to this line here, so it should be the same as that one. So that's going to be my hidden line, because it's just showing me that there's something on the other side of that. I just can't see it. Okay, so that is that shape. Zoom out so you can see them. And there it is. So that is what your front, top, and side should look like for that final shape. All right, once you have all of these in, again, all you have to do is insert a picture of the first 3 drawings, the first 7 drawings, my apologies, and then have these in there, and you are done. All right, congratulations on that.